What up, my people? Alright, just sit tight and we'll begin in just a moment. My apologies for being a little late today. My bed consumed me. Anyways, sit tight. We'll get started in about a minute or two, alright? Alright. Let's go and get this shit started. Stop this lollygagging. So, my people, welcome back. This is your boy Satoshi motherfucking Heavy, signing in here with a dose of crypto, Forex, and stocks. So with that, I don't have my chart up, but we can still begin. With that, we can begin. 3, 2, 1, and transition. Ooh, I kind of want to make this buy. Okay, pause this music, and we'll begin. You like. I fucking love that song. Yo, okay. Welcome back, my friends. Gosh damn, this last week has been absolutely incredible. Especially if you've been part of the Elliott Wave. The Elevate trading family. We have absolutely destroyed and crushed this. Jesus. So, as you guys know, we skipped out on Sunday, so we'll dabble a little bit into the higher time frame, but I want to talk to something right now that's happening right now. I think we're going to move up overnight, and I'm very interested in a target of this area. I think this is like a weird little flat thing that is completed. Like a little triangle that happened in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, little and diagonal type thing. And I see like a weird leading diagonal here. This high here makes a high on a lot of exchanges besides this one. And this is Coinbase, by the way. And so I'm thinking this has a chance of being A, B, and we're now in C. Which just will fit the idea that we're in a triangle. Our target would be the 0.7 bare minimum, which a target, like a real actual target of possibly being this. So this is kind of dabbling into the low time frame stuff that we usually normally look for. So just to recap, so I kind of took a break over the last few days. It's only been fucking like what, three days. I took a trade the other day, but it wasn't really like a significant trade. I was only like kind of like testing the waters and stuff, and seeing how the market felt, if I felt in the market, if I knew how to read on it, etc., etc. I took a loss, so I decided to step out even further. So it's been like since Saturday or Friday since I took my last major trade. That trade being this short here, absolutely ridiculous, honestly. The most insane shit I've ever been part of. My idea that we're in a ending diagonal was proposed about here during that day as the development happened, and this is test to watch. Let's see how well this worked. So in any diagonal, your wave 2 and wave 4 would drastically differ in structure and time, and that's what happened here. We got a clear triangle here and a clear, flat here. So it's clear alteration, right? And then time also alternated well enough for us, where 2 was very elongated, and this is very short, but it still held the system wave compatibility, which is right here. Lastly, I just want to, what's up, bro? I just want to recap on why this works so well and why Elliott Wave is such an incredible thing. So it all depended on where you put this pivot. And now when I was conducting this analysis live I had like a group of 4 or 5 friends at my house. I was just trying to teach them and show them like it is possible to do what I do, and it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, and if you just apply yourself and trust yourself and actually work the market. And so when I actually wanted to long this, but we got stopped out on this fucking wick right here, and I ended up just watching this develop into the high sides, and I wanted to just enter the short because I felt like if I had the opportunity of taking that short, I was going to take it because it offered it for a very high probability because stop placement was extremely easy. Now this is where I almost got in trouble. I initially threw out my low here, and I thought this move up to this low to here was all a 5 at first because it hit a perfect target. My first order was right here, hit that order, jumped down. I was like, man, that got to be it. Ended up adding to that position about 50%, which I was in at about 50% of my normal lot. And I was waiting for this pivot right here to break, and I had to stop sell for the rest of my lot. And then all of a sudden we started pressing, and I was like, oh, and my friends started saying and screaming like, oh, it's going to 14,000, it's going to 14,000. Because my initial thesis of from this low here or this low here, can't remember. I thought we were gonna go to 14K, and I was just like, no. Like we have rules here. I was like, until this green line gets hit, I am just gonna keep shorting this fucking thing. And I literally started hammering shorts, market shorting. And my average entry ended up being like right here, 11.9, something like that, 11.950, something like that. But it was just the biggest thing I wanted to take from this is that I had a plan. And I executed. I did not falter. Everything led up to that point held true, and I didn't let emotional bias seep in. Even when I had 5 friends just screaming, it's going to 14,000, why are you putting this trade? Because I had every reason to. Okay? And I had a very clear level to where I was wrong. And so it was very easy for us to take that trade, and it ended up being very profitable and almost instantaneously, which is very, very rare. Usually you have to sit and wait, kind of sit in a position, but that was literally the most crazy shit. Anyways, fast forward to now, we went over why everything worked out so well and why everything, in terms of psychological aspects, how to battle those emotions and stuff like that, sticking to rules and set bases and stuff like that. Now that we covered that, I want to talk about this a little bit further. There's really no exact... all I know for certain at this point is that we're correcting this move here. At a bare minimum, we're correcting this move from this low to this high. At a bare minimum, which gives us a time box of this to this. We clearly see this box in the middle. This low is not held within this box. So that means that we have to form more complexity to find a low point at this box. So at that point, it's just like, drawing up 1,000,001 things that could possibly happen and just seeing what actually happens. For me, we use Elliott Wave to kind of hint us or push us towards a specific general bias and idea. First off is since this move was extremely violent and happened almost instantly, and also, in my opinion, happened in a 3-way fashion where it went from here to this, like a little pivot right here on the 5-minute and an extreme capitulation candle on the low side. It was a 3 waves. So this is just screaming to me a neutral triangle, but I'm not willing to trade it unless I have a very this low. I wish I would have saw this low because this was optimal trade entry right here. That low, and I missed it. I actually had orders right here to bid just in case it's retraced a little bit lower. It didn't do this. It's still running away from it. I'm not willing to chase this trade. If I wake up and the price is up here, to me it's a very obvious short for me. So I'm not really into chasing trades. I'm into stocking my setups and executing when they actually occur. So I missed that optimal trade entry. I try to get optimal trade entry on the lower time frame in like 1 minute here. Missed it, and it looks like it could be running without me. I don't care. If it does, it does, and I'll wake up to a really really probable short. The reason why it's really probable is because I already said that this move here is giving us hints that we're in a neutral triangle. Now, if we make a three-wave rise into this bearish order block right here, or that should be our order block right there, and also coincides with the 786 retracement of this current move to the low side, everything just lines up for a very, very optimal short entry, because the idea is that we're in a neutral triangle, which means that our boundaries will be converging. In my opinion, we'll have a slightly higher slope on the low side. So the low side will probably do like this. It's going to take some time. A lot of time. My opinion is going to test patience a lot. But I also feel like the low side will have a steeper slope. This is a steeper slope. It's more flat. And this has a chance of running all the way up here. Essentially almost 99%, 90% of this move is where I would say get really hairy, easy stop placement for that, and then target the low side of that. Right? But at this point, we don't really know. All we can use is our knowledge based on Elliott wave principle and Neil wave principle to get us to that potential point. Again, in my opinion, this looks like a very obvious ABC, right? ABC, we're about to move up in T wave, but I'm not willing to chase it. From things that we are looking at to aid that idea was optimal trade entry was presented on that low, because this, our 15-minute stochastic was fully reset. By the way, I need to change this. Okay. Our 15-minute stochastic was fully reset, and so it was that's optimal trade entry at that point at the low side. Not only that, because we hit a 618 retrace of this current move right there. Boom, hits that golden box, and then that high breaks that high briefly. So this works for a diagonal. The only thing I don't like at this moment is how fast the short B is. Usually you look for B being a 1-to-1 in time of A at a bare minimum. If it's not, you should assume YXY. So I guess right now, I should not assume this. I should probably assume YXY. So I guess we're going to do that. If I'm going to use the principle, I might as well use it exactly correct every single moment. So this is what we're doing. So I think it's going to be a YXY rather than an ABC. This formed into what looks like... Can't tell if that's... Okay. Just check the retracement of this current move, and we'll move on to a little bit higher time frame talk. Okay, we retrace less than 60%. So I'm thinking this is going to end up being a weird zigzag, weird flat, because this retraced into a zigzag. This is a zigzag technically. I don't know. Actually, that's on the border, because the move up is not didn't go anywhere, but the retracement, which is the biggest key to differentiate your flats to zigzags, was less than 68%, which is in the zigzag family and not the flat family. So I'm thinking, since this did not break into the flat family, this has a chance of being in that flat family. So this probably go like an ABC, or like 5 waves coming up like this, and then like down, and then up, that a weird channel like this, weird channel, anything like that. So if this opportunity presents itself in the morning of a high, like this runs high, breaks these highs but shows weakness, like like lack of volume, stochastics, the 50-minute stochastics topped out, SRSI bands is topped out or showing divergence near the upper band, then I'm going to look for to enter that short, but with the idea that this can actually develop into a YXY, and I need to see how this move here develops right there. If this move develops correctively, I know that I need to close my position as soon as I possibly can and look to potentially, either long it or just, sit up. You think the low or not? Yes. I think this holds for now. As of right now, this structure right here, nothing tells me that we're going to break this low at this very moment. Okay, let me reword that. This structure right here, particularly this right here, this down move right here, this is 3 waves. So the most recent and most violent and biggest down move besides this move that initiated a new structure. This move initiated a new structure. So disregard this structure, this move. So this move right here So this move right here just screams at me corrective phase. And since it was on the low side, once to the low side, this tells me that the likelihood that this is indeed going to be a correction is that 100% of this entire move will be at some point taken out. And our Elliott wave matches that at this point. So as of right now, I truly believe this low holds before this high breaks. Okay, that's my idea. Now, this does not necessarily have to form into a triangle. It can end up forming into a flat, or not a zigzag, but a flat. In my opinion, this will retrace more. And this will go, instead of, too much shit here now. Instead of, this triangle like this, where it goes ping pongs like this, up, down, and then moons, there's a chance of this being a boom, boom, a flat. We have a chance of putting in a boom, running flat. Like, oh, Nelza just pointed it out. Good shit, Nelza. So yeah, we have all these possibilities. That's a shitty thing about trading corrections, especially the middle part of the correction. I know for a fact we're somewhere in the middle of a corrective phase. That's all I know. At this point, for certainty. Now we should never be certain of things, but there comes times where it's very easily to judge when a market should be correcting just based on the data prior and also the current situation and how the market is developing. This is all corrective. So the only thing we know with high certainty, high certainty, not absolute certainty, is that we're in a corrective phase. That's all we know. Now, how the corrective phase develops, that is on us to hypothesize and also strategize for all the scenarios that could potentially happen, with having one as a main bias. As of right now, my bias is that we're going to form into a triangle. The reason why my bias is that we're going to form into a triangle is the reason I stated prior is that this move here was very quick, very violent, almost happens instantly, and seemed to be of only 3 waves. All has indications that it could potentially be this triangle. Now it's very early on to full-heartedly assume that, but at this moment, I've used my prior data to get me to this point, so I'm just gonna keep with that as my primary until it is completely invalidated. As of right now, 3 of the 4 counts I just proposed, a flat, a triangle, a running flat. I don't think that's it, right? So out of all of those counts, the only one that's really bearish and will break this low is the normal flat, which I don't think is going to happen. I just really think this monthly level is going to hold. It has held so many times. I know it's bound to hold, but we'll see. Yeah, a triangle always does form into a running flat. It's kind of funny. So I shouldn't be assuming it because it's the most rare pattern in the whole world, but we have very strong belief with this move here. So our primary will be a neutral triangle, but with the idea that it most likely will develop into a running flat or just a normal flat. So it's just based on, a good thing for us is that we're low time frame traders, or I am, and so I'm able to count the low time counts and build the bigger picture to what makes sense. As of right now, the only thing I can lead us up to this point is that this is 3 and now we're correcting for 4. That's all we know. Yeah, triangles are very rare. They really don't exist, but this is such a clear setup, so if you took that setup, I don't like it because for me, this is too far of a stop for me to really enter in. That's 2% of a stock. I can't do that to myself. But this is very valid. This looks really good. Everything tells me that this should happen. We have a lot of room to move up. 13-minute here looks pretty solid for moving up to the upper band. It just looks pretty good. So if you got in that trade, keep holding to that. Okay, let's talk about a high time frame real quick. We talked about all about the low time frame, and then we'll get out of here. Let's go to BLX since it's my better high time frame chart real quick. Oh my god, I know. I've been slacking, honestly. I've been high-key slacking. I have like 3 videos that I need to finish editing. I fucking need a published band, which I literally just have to publish it, but fucking TV makes it so fucking hard to publish it now. It's just like, I have to be very careful about what I put in my bio so it doesn't get fucking yanked and I get fucking banned for another 2 weeks. It's like, fuck. Anyways, this is my highest degree weight count on Bitcoin. As of right now, from the absolute lowest point, as stated from one of my very, 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 very good and respected colleagues, I almost could call him now. Rather, most people know him as my Padawan or whatever, Hawkeye. He proposed a count that this was all corrective, and our Grandmaster actually agrees that this is all corrective. So I'm actually with this, because nothing here. If we're gonna use a principle, if we're gonna make a principle, and we use the wave principle, we have to use it for verbatim, in every aspect, and that means counting waves how they actually developed, and not fitting to what your bias was. Previously, my bias was this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and we're in a giant 2. But that's not true. It can't be true. Why? Look, if you just count the subways of this move here, and then I just count subways everywhere, nothing makes sense for impulses. So, I haven't even looked at gold in a while, but I want to peep it later. I'll just peep it. So, as of right now, this all seems corrective. Everything seems corrective at this point. The highest degree. Now the question is, did Y end here, or is this still Y? That's the big question. A or W, X, Y. Finish Y. I don't see if time works in that aspect. It works perfectly for a WXY in that aspect. This is Y. Right here. Y is a Y. The secondary count is that this is just a big A, and this is all B, and this is C, and we're in A and not B, and then this is C, and this will be a buy. The more bearish one is the one proposed by Hawkeye. He has his slightly counted differently. He has this as a triangle. I think the triangle is pretty close to being invalidated, but at this point it still holds. But in my opinion, the most logical point to get to this point is a YXY flat. So for me, once we hit this 14,000, between 14,000 to 17,000, 18,000, I'm gonna be looking for significant reversal signs on the absolute highest of scales, and then we'll see what happens with that. But for now, the way I'm counting this particular move is this actually can be interpreted a few different ways. It could be a YXYZ right here, where Z is the final move and being a flat, and then we have a quick little X, and now we're moving up for another 3-wave move, ABC. Or if you're more with the ABC bias and you're thinking that this is actually going to be a 5-wave impulse and not a 3-wave impulse, then you would take your high from here. You will label this W, this W, this X, and this Y. And this is the new impulse right here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. And now, say we're correcting 4 right now, and then our 5. You never know. You never know. I don't play the high time frame trades like that, so for me, it's just formulating a general bias on the highest degree to make sure that once price gets to those very pivotal points of possible, reversal, I'm not gonna be holding positions at this point. I'm gonna be looking for confirmation that my idea held true and shit like that. So for me, I think the most logical thing is a YXY, W, X, and this is Y. since this was looks like a zigzaggy flat thingy, chances are this could end up being a weird flat. So be very mindful of how this could retrace. Okay, but for me, I don't think we're finishing this yet in the initial impulse, and it's going to actually form about right there. We're missing, in my opinion, we're missing one more move up for this move here. 1, 2, all this is 3. We're in 4 now. 5, and then this will signify the top of this first A. It will retrace for B. I think this B wave will be pretty nasty. Then C, scan pump. I think this B will be the retest that everybody's trying to look for, but don't see it as a retest because this last move kind of pumps without them near or almost to 14K, and then it starts retracing hefty and hard because it finished an entire sequence A wave, retracing quite hard. Everybody's gonna get scared. It's gonna retest these highs. It's gonna bounce. And that retrace should be 60% or greater, which right there, 60% or greater to confirm a flat bias. And that would hold our bias that this is a WXY with a finishing flat, and this was a zigzag, double zigzag. All right, now that we're done talking about Bitcoin in all aspects and all facets, we can move on to Ethereum. Let's look at the daily real quick. Compression, I come up. This is a talk just asking to come up for some reason. 5-day real quick. 5-day has a nasty shooting star. Monthly looks good. Okay, we go on to ETH. ETH. I try not to pay attention to FA because no one would ever guess that Bitcoin would have went to 20,000 using FA. So anything can happen. Don't hold an emotional bias or anything. It's just a fucking coin. Okay, let's talk ETH on the higher time frame because that's mainly what I'm trading on. ETH. I don't trade ETH on the lower time frame because I use Bitcoin for my lower time frame intraday trading. Simply, this idea seems still pretty true. That we're in a YXY, and we're finishing Y of Y. Now, ETH is the only reason that makes me more bearish in that we're actually correcting a higher degree move. Dude, you must not watch any of my videos. I use that. Yes, I use them daily, every single day, except today. I don't know why I didn't mention them. It's probably because I wasn't really interested on a trade. Well, I was, but I missed the opportunity. But I will cover shit like that. But dude, all levels is used for is understanding, where price can go to. So hold on. I made countless videos on it too, so I don't like, man, don't. Yeah, ETH is like almost screaming for me that it's gonna go up, gonna go up. This can't come down, they move up. I don't know, but this to me looks like a ABC waiting to happen. It's gonna form like a running flat here. It's gonna come up, come down. Okay, for ETH, the minimum requirement for this fucking thing, for a correction to end is, unless it's going to be a next wave, which is we never assume, right here. So ETH needs to make a low point here. Yeah, this is actually a very beautiful Elliott wave right here. It's probably some of the prettiest Elliott wave, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways. I'm thinking this is going to end up being very complex. Like it could come up here, come down, and then have another sideways rally, and then come down again hard like that. Before I can A, B, C. Flat. All I know is that we're looking for a low point in there. I don't know if it's going to develop into a YXY or a 1 through 5, but right now we have it as a YXY, so we're at least for a bare minimum, assuming that we're going to have a retracement, which we already had initiated, and another move up. Now it's just figuring out if that's going to actually be the last move, or it's going to do another one of these and then move up for the last move like that for a fifth wave for an A, B, C rather than a WXY. The reason why I proposed about WXY is because Bitcoin was also seeming to be in a WXY. Only thing I don't like about this was, kind of makes me lean more ABC, is that the middle move has seemed to eclipse what you normally assume for a YXY. So technically, if we're going to be logically and sound towards the Elliott wave principle, we should be assuming a 5-wave impulse, and this initial rise here was wave 1. I guess. So if we're gonna use this principle, we have to use it verbatim, at all moments. All moments. We cannot sway our bias just because we feel like it. So for now, I guess we're gonna assume this until proven otherwise. Okay. We start retracing and trading below. I know it's a far drop from here, but in terms of the grand scheme of things, if you start trading below 320, I'm bearish again. Anything above 320, you want to buy dips and resets of the hourly, or probably like the 5-hour hourly stochastic. And if you're not using my stochastic, you're using the wrong one. I promise you that. See, this is just screaming for a pump. It's just dead in the water. Not dead in the water, but I'm saying it's really low. Same with the 15-minute on ETH. Like, it's just asking for a pump right now. It's crazy. ETH looks more bearish. Intermediately bearish. ETH makes me want, really feel like it's going to do this. A, B, C. That's our buy. Our indicators are there saying that our buy opportunity is here. Now, we just have to figure out where the most optimal price and time based on Elliott wave to have confluence with these levels. Okay, so my idea is that we're gonna have some sort of pump. I'm not exactly sure. ETH makes me really feel like we're gonna test a low first before moving up. So I might pull those orders on Bitcoin just because they're not making sense right at the very exact moment. So you got my higher time frame idea on ETH. My entire highest degree analysis is that we'll eventually, once this is all said and done, come down again low. About $50. I can be misinterpreting this wrong, and this is the middle move where I'm interpreting at this moment, and this is this. But if we're going to use the Elliott wave principle, we have some special requirements that must be met. One being a 618. This clearly does not hit the 618. Here's the 618, right at 50. But again, that's pretty insane price swings and price change that I'm not going to be one to say, oh, I'm calling this. But this, as of right now, is what I'm assuming will most likely happen based on the prior data I've been studying. Okay. All right, let's go to the link. It can do anything, and I'll be there when it does it. So my link idea, this idea was actually proposed here at when this triangle was almost finished completing. I don't know if you heard my story, but when I first TA'd link, all I had was this data right here. And so when I first got link, I was like, damn, this looks like shit. This is like a fucking flat that just finished, and we're about to capitulate. I thought this was like a weird flat that just finished. And this was the first move down, like 1, 2, and this was 3, this is 4, this is 5. But then someone told me to look at this chart, which is a Habubi chart. So if you're looking for historical price data on Link, use Habubi. So Habubi, gave me this Habubi chart, and I was like, damn, this looks like a giant flat. even a bigger flat, like a flat from here to up. And it actually ended up happening pretty damn well. My initial target was this box in 11.6 and 14.2. I proposed that we're forming in a ABC here. So everything at this point is held true. Even this dip buy area I had this little blue box with for time and price saying this is the area we want to be buying. That ended up being fucking literally like if you bought this box, you bought the low every single time. You bought the low, bought the low, bought the low every single time. This is starting to look very toppy though, like very toppy. Like this could be all like this screams a topping pattern to me. Hoobooby. How do you say that? Hoob? Hoobooby. Anyways. If you bought these lows, I would definitely be moving my stop up. I would definitely be in profit. When I think of that, I just think of titties. I honestly do. When I think of haboob, think of titties. All right, so as of right now, linked in exactly where we thought it would be at this point. Now it's just trying to figure out if it's actually going to squeeze up to our final targets. It's looking very mediocre if you're in this position. Be mindful of it. It's not looking too hot. See? It's not just me. Look at it. How do you pronounce that shit? Hiobi? Hobi. I don't know. Hobobi sounds a lot better for me. It rings bells. Anyways, linked is fine. There could be an alternate count where this is the correction. And this is the first move, and this is going to come down, and it's going to move. If you bought this low, my hard stop will be $8 and like 10 cents, 5 cents, 12 cents. And because like I said, in order for this entire pattern to be true from what I drew, it has to hit this box. We have to hit this box. If we don't hit this box, then this pattern's not the pattern. And this is probably a weird ass fucking B wave or X wave, and it's gonna come down hard for a gigantic fucking flat. But as of right now, I'm assuming this is part of the entire phase, and we have to hit a minimum requirement, which is right there. FTT USD. What charts? I'm assuming FTX. I fucking hate anything to do with this piece of shit. I'm thinking this is an ending diagonal. Break that level, and last time complexity confirms it. If we do this, then it's probably going to move up again. But if we do this, it's probably going to do that. But this looks like an ending diagonal. Could be wrong. This is like a very fresh chart. Anything can happen, really, but it's just more toppy. And then, you know, a small retrace, whatever, at least to there. Oops. Typically on a diagonal, you take the length of the diag, and that's your. What makes you so bullish on this? Like, why are you buying this? Like, what to you is your reason to buy this? Because I see really no reason to. This looks bearish. If anything, I'm looking for shorts. Like, what is leading you to believe this is bullish? That volume, I guess? Yeah, when it comes to things like this, we never know. All I'm saying, when it comes to, okay, I'll tell you right now. When it comes to these new fucking coins and tokens, Elliott Wave sucks. It sucks. Why? Because there's not enough participants in the data to actually provide you with an accurate analysis. There's not enough data. We need more data. So, at a pure Elliott Wave standpoint, this looks like shit. This looks bearish, like super bearish. It looks like an anti-diagonal. There's no way to put it out that. So, for me, it looks I cannot trade it. So if it moons, it moons. I don't give a fuck. If it goes, it goes. It is what it is. I missed it. I don't care. Sean said a lot of things. The only thing that screams that to me is this here. That buy volume is crazy. Okay, then I'm just gonna ignore this, and I don't want to ever be asked about FTT ever again because I don't care about it. I don't care about anything regarding FTX. I hear it enough. It's just that exchange annoys me. Everything about it annoys me. That's why I'm not gonna put it on my. This looks bearish to me. If it goes to 10, congratulations, you got in. To me, I can't buy it. So. Recovered all our. That was a great move there. Damn, that is crazy. I think this happened though. Right there, I think that happened. I'm really bullish above $3.30 on EOS. It's like a weird ass fucking flat that just finished. Unconfirmed. But it's my idea of that. So our idea from this low actually ended up being true. Or this low here. I can't remember where we proposed this. Hit our box by the tick. Oh, we just missed it. Wow. Wow. It's quite unfortunate. So I'm sorry if you got into that and just are now holding a slightly less profitable position. But very interesting. I would like more price to develop on this coin because I'm thinking this has a chance of doing this weird shit to match that. So if you got in that position, I would honestly take profit or exit. Didn't really do nothing. Already talked about that. Okay, I think we talked about everything we need to talk about. Ooh, I know this was very wrong. Don't even want. Fuck you, Apple. So far, looking good for this idea, but we'll see. Okay, let's go on to a few Forex pairs. Specifically, oh my dear lord, that was such a fucking Oh. Dang. We called it. Well, kind of. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful opportunity if you took that. Fortunately, my order's in this box, and my orders never got picked up, so that sucks. That really sucks. Oh well. Moving on. I think this is a very good opportunity. This move broke this low and less time and complexity. Kind of confirms us. As long as we stay beneath that high, we're shorting the piss out of anything in this. Wow. I cannot believe that sucks. Oh well. I swear I get very unlucky when it comes to Forex. I'm very good in crypto. In Forex, my luck tends to run drier, run out quicker. It's weird. That's still a pretty fast move to be. I want in on that still. I'm not sure if it's gonna be ABC, but I'm thinking we're gonna AB come down here. Alright, cool. My idea is still pretty held on this, so I'm not really going to change much on this. Invalid over the last high at 1.19099. If we break the last low at 1.7-ish, this confirms this idea. To me, this is a very good opportunity to short anything in this little area. Very good opportunity. We know exactly where we're wrong. We know exactly where our first target is. Our ultimate target is actually significantly lower. Like right down here. But I'll take profit there when this rebounds, looking for another opportunity to re-enter the market there for a low side there, and then buy it. Okay, so GBP USD. I'm not more bullish on this. The way this is reacting is not bearish to me. Unless it's a truncation, which I don't believe in truncation. So for now, I'm assuming this is a weird. I'm gonna go ahead and discredit this count and start looking for another idea, because I think I'm totally wrong now. So that's the drawing board on this one. We were right here, and we're wrong at this high here, and so far it looks like we're going to be entirely wrong idea. So that's the beauty about Elliott Wave on the lower time frame, is that you could be wrong on your highest degree count, but if you keep playing your low time frame wave counts up until that point, you can still become profitable. It's just unfortunate that we have to delete this and get back to the drawing board. To me, I just need a little bit more price action to develop to really get me a very sound and strong confidence in anything. When I do this, initially I want to go like ABC expanding flat, but this goes way too high. I'm thinking this has a chance of being a weird ass gigantic sliding B wave. It's gonna have another move like that. Almost like a running flat here, and then we're gonna move up. So that's gonna be my idea for now. We'll come back to that in a week and see what happens. Okay, GPD. So my idea previously was that this is gonna be a reversal area when the price got to this zone, but I also mentioned that if the price started trading above this box here, there's the likelihood that we're actually breaking out because of the highest degree time frame. It looks like we want to do this, come up to this upper parallel. And so I'm thinking this is going to actually be true on this GBP USD. We got all these tops just asking me to take it out. So consolidation above resistance is bullish, especially when it looks like this. So I'm with the GBP going up as long as we hold and maintain 1.291. I don't really have a trade entry on this particular idea at the very moment. I just know that it's something that we should be eyeing for a potential trade to the upside. This could be 4. Very curious on that. If this gets up high enough, then this would end up being potentially like that diagonal. So if it gets up here, I think it's going to end up consolidating up here like that. Become a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Again, that level is very important. There could be a chance that we're in 5 like this. I'm not rushing into it. I don't have a very clear trade entry at this point on this exact currency, this pair, whatever you want to call it. But to me, it's very interesting, and to the point that where I potentially want to long it to the upper parallel. Okay, that's a pretty good move right there. 5% in Forex is pretty good. Okay, USD CAD. Okay, USD CAD has now entered our box. I had an idea possibly that we could be in a flat or this 4. It looks like we're in this 4 now, for a fact now. So we ended up not trying to trade that. I don't think so. I know I didn't. So I might have hinted at it was a good, not hinted. It was a good opportunity. It just ended up being wrong. So the secondary idea is that this is a 1 through 4, which seems to be the count at the moment. So to me, this is a very optimal, again, another trade where it's very, I like this trade a lot. Honestly, I might need to take it myself. Why? This had a chance of being 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the last move for 5. So 5 of 5. I can count 5 and 5. I want to long it. Especially if it's an area of interest being this order block that I signify from here to here. So it makes sense. But for me to get into this position, I'm not trying to pick a bottom. But if I'm going to take a guess, it's going to be in this area. I'm going to look for the hourly Chevy to go long. The hourly Chevy has been pretty fucking spot on. Maybe you can go down to the 30-minute. But it's been pretty spot on for the longs and shorts and stuff like that. So I'm going to wait for this to flip. Hopefully get it into the position, and then set my stop at the local low of the flip. I'll probably use the hourly though, just because I'm not trying to be around too many charts at once. But my idea is that we're going to bounce pretty hard on this pair pretty soon. Something like that. All right, so my friends, I think that's it. I think we've talked about everything we normally talk about. So if you have any questions or concerns, any further pairs you possibly want to look at before I get out of here, it is now 9:30. We have exactly went on for an hour, which is perfect. This is literally exactly what I want. Don't want to go over, don't want to go under, just want to be exact on time. So today we actually accomplished that. So congratulations to me, pat on my back. Good job. You actually set your schedule. So, well, kind of. I was actually late today, so I apologize for that. I freaking decided to just rest my head for a moment. And my bed swallowed me whole. Can you cover Litecoin? Litecoin. The coin that is light, but it's still heavy to the ground. It's a lagger. That's Litecoin's daily chart. It's crazy, honestly. Yeah, I have no idea how to fit FA into my chart, so I don't really care about it. No idea. All I know is that usually shit like that causes for some price expansion or whatever. I need a better chart than this. Okay. few more checks here. Okay. So I was seeing if this low could be the ultimate low for this, but I'm thinking it's the same thing as all the other coins, that we're in a gigantic flat. And this has major catching up to do. That's my idea. It's a zigzag, so it's going to end up probably being some weird, at the end of the day, probably like a weird flat. Let's look at time. Check time real quick. Right in time. But yeah, I'm very, honestly, like, with that FA that Nils is talking about, and the fact that this still looks very, very lacking of what has kind of transpired around the entire crypto market, one has to ask yourself, themselves, is Litecoin lagging? Where normally it's a leading indicator, is it a lagging indicator? Very interesting here. Look at log. Log has a very clean breakout and retest. Holy crap. I meant not log, linear. I'm actually liking this idea. I need to just figure out a way to potentially long this. For me, if I get another similar move like this on this side, I'm longing that low. But Litecoin looks the same at the current state. It looks the same as ETH. That it looks like it wants to press up and create a larger degree flat of some sort. And that I would buy that. I'll look to buy that, even just with my Coinbase account. Honestly, because this is, in my opinion, it's a good opportunity. They put fucking 10K on Litecoin, fucking just a normal, this spot buy. That's another 10K right there if it ends up being true. So I like that. So thank you for pointing this out. I've been seeing some things about Litecoin, but I haven't really dabbled into it just because no really reason to. I want to look at one thing before we get out of here. Ah, shit. I want to see how crazy gold has gone. I haven't really looked at gold. XAU, right? XAU. I'm like, why can't I find it? Wow. Dear Lord. What an absolute tear. That's just crazy, honestly. That's crazy price action. Crazy price action. Anyways, I just want to look at gold. I'm not going to really TA this. But this is quite the move. It's pretty impressive. In my opinion, we're closer to a top than not on gold. If I have to just throw out a level for shits and gigs, it's 2,223 for a top. Okay, find it sooner. But I'm thinking we're in a B wave. Unless this is a weird truncation, like some weird like neutral triangle or some shit I'm just not seeing. This is clearly 3 waves. This is clearly 3 waves. So this has to be 5 waves. It's overextended at the moment, but by a lot. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. Blow off top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe it's like a, I don't know. This move here is fucking crazy. Pretty crazy. Honestly, this is not a bad opportunity, because if this is indeed a ending diagonal where 4 and 3 overlap, which they do right here, and they alternate in both structure and price and time, then wave 3 cannot be the shortest. I think it's already invalidated. We're so close here. Let's do a little more. I think it literally just invalidated this, like right now. Ooh my gosh. That's so crazy. This is technically 100% valid still. Until it crosses that line. As soon as it breaks this pivot here, I think it's a pretty good idea that this is actually going down. This looks like, to me, we're in the final move. This, we could have just hit the final move, because this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click B. I'm actually kind of liking this setup, just because stop is so tight. Your stop could literally be right there. Sure, we might get stopped out immediately, but structure opportunity is there. It is there. So I like the setup. I would honestly take it if I had a place to trade gold. Just look at the R to R. Just look at it. I know R to R is only half of the story in regards to a potential good setup, but wave makes sense here too. Then I'll get out of here because I'm tired. Going to see what tomorrow brings. Like that is 14-0 odds, or R to R, which is really good. Again, we could get it stopped out nearly immediately, but I'd rather be wrong immediately or right immediately rather than sit and wait. Unfortunately, that seldomly happens, but very, very, very logical zone on levels that we know are wrong based on Elliott wave. Structure looks really good on the highest degree as well. The only thing I don't like is the extension here, but hey, I'd rather not, buy a top than short a top that it looks toppy. You know what makes sense? So I would hate to be a buyer on a top rather than a short on a top, even if I'm wrong. In both instances. Say if I get buy a top and it tanks, that feels worse than shorting a top and it moons. To me, because like you're shorting the top, because it's me. I only short when it's very logical based on structure, momentum, and all that stuff. So it's very lackadaisical. In structure, the only thing that's very bullish at the moment is the last move up is very impulsive. So very mindful of that. But again, it's very easy to know we're wrong. Very great opportunity. So if I had the opportunity, I probably would take it. But with that, I am now done talking. I talked a lot today. We're now over 15 minutes, so I haven't had any further questions or concerns besides the one Noser proposed about Litecoin. Thank you for posting that chart because, in my opinion, that's a very, very good chart. And also very interesting because how lagging it has been in regards to the greater spectrum of all cryptocurrency. So if I were you, right now, go look at the FA surrounding Litecoin, see if it has anything that could potentially, aid our idea. Yeah. With that, my friends, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. You can catch me again, your boy Satoshi motherfucking heavy. This Thursday, we'll talk less on the high time frame and more about how we usually do things. So stay tuned if you're there. You're coming for the intraday stuff. I know today we talked a lot about the higher time frame, but we still kept it within the time frames we normally go for. I just decided to dabble a little bit after the fact. So We actually did pretty well on time and everything else. So I'm thinking I might even start implementing the high time frame as needed during the week instead of just holding it for the first show of the week. Which this is the first show of this week, unfortunately, because I didn't stream Sunday. But again, catch me this Thursday at about 8 to 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will talk all about the intraday low time frame setups. Stalking day trades is what we like to call it. Until then, my friends, everybody be safe. Be mindful of the surrounding situations around the world. If you have not heard, my prayers and best wishes go out to the people of Lebanon. That was literally the craziest video I've seen in a while. My heart sank when I saw that video. I don't know if you saw it, but a massive explosion of like 2,500 tons of whatever nitrate, some extremely explosive material that they failed to put in a very wise location. Very failure by the leaders of Lebanon, by my opinion. So my prayers and wishes go out to them. I think yours should too. So with that, keep the ones you love close. Make sure you're reminded every single day why you do what you do. Okay? I'll catch y'all this Thursday. Peace the fuck out, my friends.
I was